So I've got a lot of questions from that. So maybe I mean, uh, I'd be remiss if I don't go back to the bull riding and some of the martial arts stuff. But I mean, you've had a dynamic career. You've been in a lot of places, different locations, kind of dealing with personal stuff as well as kind of professional kind of changes in the industry. I mean, what about some of those early lessons that you were doing, moving around a lot, kind of do the martial arts, doing kind of bull riding? Like, have you been able to bring to your career? What context does it give? I mean, for me, I started jujitsu about a year ago, and it's one of those things where like it helps you give perspective, right? Like
Absolutely.
you have to be really focused when you have to be very present when you're practicing something like that. Otherwise, you're going to get choked out or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Right.
and it makes the rest of the day a little bit easier when you're going into a meeting. It's like, oh, like okay, we can figure this out, right? So what for you? Kind of what are some of the things that you've brought to some of your outside of work pursuits that have helped you expand your career?
Yeah. As you said, it gives you a whole new perspective on, how you can approach things. One thing that, with the paintball and the martial arts, those two things, what's really important in those is, controlling your body, controlling your emotions, and understanding how to focus. And, so I learned a lot of that, through those. Bull riding brought on a whole nother aspect. Certainly, you've got to learn how to control your body, the same as martial arts. But it's the fear factor. You really have to be able to stay cool during that time. And look, don't get me wrong. I mean, anybody who knows me knows I'm highly wired, and I'm not the coolest all the time. But certainly, my mindset is such that not much scares me. And the reason that's good for a career is a lot of times what stifles people in innovation is confidence. The biggest difference is just being confident to try something, to do something different. And I really attribute what I went through with bull riding and having to face that moment, right before they open the gate, not knowing what's about to happen, in the next 20 seconds. This could be the end of my life. This could be, who knows? This could change my whole life right here. But you're not going to know unless you pop open the gate, right? So that I was able to carry with me from that point on to be able to, really just venture into anything. I've had a lot of times because of all of what I've been through in this industry. Even at camp, I'm not really known for being a business development person. But usually what I am is I'm a technical advisor. I support sales teams. I do things like that. But I'm always willing to take on a new challenge, and so sales needed some help. So I jumped into sales and I did really well there. And then, we really needed to push towards business development. And Brad trusted me with, hey, take this on. But I don't really have a whole lot of experience in business development. So I had to, that's where the bull riding comes in, is just, okay, no fear. Let's do it. Let's take the challenge and drive into it. And, yeah, so that's what it really does for me, is it gives me a whole different perspective of being able to take on challenges.